My name is Yu Shin-hyung from South Korea. My family name is Yu, and my given name is Shin-hyung. My health in my country is, I think Koreans are rather strong, and they don't really get sick a lot. They don't like going to hospitals, and they rather stay at home and kind of like stay with the family rather than going and trusting the doctors, because we consider ourselves more important inside a family and inside a group rather than being individuals outside.
No, that's of course, I'm a Caribbean man, so it's all about being free, it's being happy, and of course being a revolutionary person. And it's about ensuring that there's no boundaries, there's no sort of conflict. I try to promote peace all the time, peace and love. Basically, yeah. Health in my country, it's a big issue, especially as it pertains to young people accessing healthcare services. Let's take, for example, like a 15-year-old going to one of those centers. The nurse or the office personnel would be like, "What are you coming here for? Are you having sex again? Or you have an STI? What are you coming here for?" And it's a deterrent for young people in terms of going to getting information on healthcare services.
My name is Khabar Ehsan and I'm from Pakistan and I represent Pakistan Girl Guide Association. Health in our country. I think health is a big problem. I think most of the people don't have access to clean water. That's cause major health problems, or health facilities in hospitals, especially in government hospitals, are not that good, and people may be suffering because of that, because the private clinics or the hospitals are very expensive for them. Most of the people can't afford it.
Well, my name is Lilian Chibiko, from Nigeria, but I live in Sweden. I was all my life in Nigeria. Yes. In my country is very poor because it is very high to go to hospital. People pay a lot of money to go to hospital, and those in the rural areas, they just depend on the chemist shops where they can buy paracetamol or buy drugs just to live for that day. Not everybody have the opportunity to have medical attention in the various hospitals because of what to pay. And it's a very big issue. And most people, the whole of their life, live without visiting, without being to any hospital.
My name is Simona. I come from Slovenia. First association, health reform. Very needed. Nobody knows how to do it because there's not enough money for it. So it's high on the political agenda, but well, that's the political side. I think that in my country you have suffered a lot from the transition period, from a former political system, and the health system has been one of the areas that has suffered a lot. And unfortunately, we had gone from having a fairly good social health system to having one which, well, is not meeting the needs of the people anymore.
Primeramente, mi nombre es Sixto Zapata, soy de Nicaragua, pero vivo en Cuba. Sobre la salud en mi país, ¿verdad? Anteponiendo como ejemplo, ¿verdad?, ante el mundo el sistema de la salud cubana, pero en el caso de la salud nicaragüense, consideramos que con el nuevo gobierno han habido avances importantísimos, ¿verdad? De manera de que se han podido eliminar todos los sectores privados que existía en las instituciones públicas de servicio de salud, y la salud debe ser de calidad y gratuita para todo el pueblo y un derecho fundamental para los jóvenes.
I don't know if education, I'm not sure if Europeans or other countries know, but in Korea, education is especially a very intense part in Korea. We spend 16 hours a day in school, and it's I heard that it's a horrible system. A lot of countries say that, but to us, it's like a natural thing because everyone's doing it, and there's this competition that we always feel towards others. And well, personally, and I believe that other students think so as well, that it's a horrible system, we hate it, we don't want to go to school, but then everyone's doing it, and if you're not doing it, you feel kind of like an outsider.
No, I mean, for me, education is it's a very interesting thing because, I mean, for me coming from the Caribbean, we're basically brought up on the Western framework of education. And I think in a lot of cases, like working in some of the rural communities, you have seen where that Western type of education system, it doesn't work. Especially going into the poverty-stricken communities, that sort of Western system of education doesn't work, and you always have to try and find new ways of creating very creative programs that utilizes education. So in some cases, we use theater.
Education. Education is, to me, able to know something about anything. It's education. Whether it's about religion, whether it's about to cope up with the daily routine and the methods to cope up with things. These are all education.
Education, I would say, is the process of developing somebody. Developing our knowledge, developing ourselves, to prepare for the future. So that's what I would say about education.
The opportunity to change the world by, influencing internal change in people, empowering them. For me, it's the tool to at least the one that I can operate best.
La educación, para mí y para todos los jóvenes a nivel mundial, debe ser un derecho fundamental para la humanidad. Es una herramienta estratégica para la integración de los pueblos del mundo y debe ser ofertado como un derecho de todos los jóvenes, no como un servicio comercial. Y donde queremos un sistema de educación a nivel mundial donde los estudiantes seamos llamados o vistos como estudiantes y no como clientes.
Marriage in Korea, it's changing a lot. In the past, we used to have a man revolving family, so everything from wealth, the money, to the children, it belonged to the men. But now it's changing. Sometimes there are families that revolve around the women. And this is something different. In Korea, the first name, usually in Europeans or American families, the woman's first name changes to the man's first name. But ever since our country formed, we never followed the men's first name. So I think that's something that we're always proud of.
That's a very interesting question. Marriage. I mean, marriage, I think traditionally, marriage was all about the union of two people coming together and creating that sort of union that looks at creating a family and creating a future together. But I think now that traditional aspect in some culture has been lost. I mean, in Trinidad in particular, you're seeing where people are getting married very, very young, and by 2-3 years after, they're having divorce. They're getting a divorce. So, I mean, for me personally, I have no intentions at this point.
I can't answer this.
Marriage. I see marriage in African context. I would say, in African context, as coming together of a man and woman for to live together for love, but not as a contract, Because in most places, people come together, oh, they see they love themselves and they live just for a while, and at a point, oh, we are no more together. But in African context, once you are married and you do the necessary things, you said is your wife, you live together, you have your children, it is always a big issue to divorce. So people are not always thinking that, except if situation comes to worse. So I think it is a very great thing to live together as husband and wife in African context.
Complicated.
El matrimonio yo lo concibo como uno de los rectores de vida de los jóvenes, después del rector de vida del empleo, después del rector de vida de una vivienda, después de haberse graduado de una carrera determinada. Eso es un paso, ¿verdad?, que estabiliza la vida emocional y social y cultural, ¿no?, de un joven y de los pueblos.
Religion matters a lot for me, you can guess. But I don't think that it's too difficult as people think that it is forbidding us to do anything. I don't think so. Sometimes it makes our lives easier.
I'm a very strongly believing and devoted atheist. I have a very strong opinion about religious institutions in particular. So, yes, it plays a very important role in my life now.
In Korea, I don't think there is a very strict line between social status. There never been a time in Korea where I felt that I was like a minority or a majority, because, well, everyone, except for the wealth part, everyone is starting at the same point, and everything that makes you feel like a minority is very, very hidden deeply. So even I don't know what those minorities factors are. So I don't think those kind of characteristics are actually visible compared to other countries.
El estatus social, para mí, es la condición que cada uno de los seres humanos o los jóvenes tenemos ante el mundo, ¿ya? Una base social, ¿verdad? Para algunos mejores que otros, pero esa es nuestra expectativa, ¿no? Aquí, el de estar aquí en Mollina, en el FEULAT, tratar el tema de participación, el derecho de los jóvenes y educación para mejorar la calidad de vida de los jóvenes, que eso nos va a dar un mejor estatus, ¿verdad?, a todos los jóvenes del mundo.
Okay, well, I'm from Europe, so I'm a European and that's it, I'm confined to that, or I'm from Africa and that's it, or from Asia, or whatever the case is. You should see yourself as a global citizen, because at the end of the day, whether it be HIV, whether it be crime, whether it be climate change, we are all in some way affected by these issues. And not because I'm from the Caribbean and I think maybe climate change doesn't affect me, I shouldn't do anything about it. Of course I should do something about it. I should start lobbying, I should start maybe a website talking about it and getting other people to sign petitions, or somewhere do a campaign with some t-shirts or do some advocating. But I should get involved as a global citizen. And I think it's very, very instrumental and very, very important that people start thinking that way. I am because you are, and about living your life to inspire someone else to do good, and not be about yourself and just be about consumerism and capitalism. It's not about that. It's about ensuring that you inspire someone to do good at the end of the day, being a voice for the voiceless.
Yeah, sometimes in our country, it's like globalization is Americanization because it's affecting us a lot.
Global. Yeah, it's a big issue because global means bringing the whole world together, I would say. Creating awareness, let people be aware of what is happening here, what is happening there. If it is life, okay, let everybody have life. If it is how, Let everything that is good reach to the rest of the world. Let there be no, for me, that's how I say it. Let there be no big differences between countries, and I think it will. What is working in Europe can be transferred to Africa so that they can bring up the level of life in Africa, or the level of life in Asia. We can share together our ideas, what is helping us or what has not been helping us, and how we can emerge so that the whole world can be equal.